Lies of P is a Souls-like game set in the Pinocchio universe, and a lot of you out there want to hit stuff with big swords. So after getting to the end of the game, getting, I think, every weapon in the game, all the boss weapons, all the weapons of the open world, and some secret stuff, I want to share the 5 best strength weapons in Lies of P. So strength in this game is called Motivity, and the aim of the game is hitting enemies as hard as possible with the biggest and strongest weapons. And boy, there's some fun ones in this game. The way weapon scaling works in this game is similar to any other Souls-like really. Every weapon has a letter next to the stat on the item, and that is how the weapon scales with each different stat. So with that in mind, let's go over the best strength weapons based on their stats and their playstyle in Lies of P. So number 1, it's hard not to play favoritism because I think I do have a favorite weapon, and it's the Holy Sword of the Ark. This is hands down one of the best strength, motivity weapons in the game. And it's the weapon I use for probably half the game for 2 reasons. Firstly, it has incredible balance between damage and speed. Unlike some of the big heavy clubs and the smashing weapons, enemies will just wail on you while you're holding a big slow charge. It has enough speed that it can get a quick attack in between boss attacks. And the second reason is its Fable ability is kind of crazy. So to get this weapon, it's a boss weapon. So if you're new to Souls-like games or Lies of P alone, then there's a system where you defeat a boss and you get a special soul that can be traded in for a weapon. So in this game, you want to beat King's Flame Fuego, and that will drop the soul. And then when you get to the cathedral, you'll know when you get there, there's a guy there called Alidoro, and you trade the things to him, and he's kind of comes along for the rest of the game. And that's who you trade all your boss souls to. So yeah, look that up if you've not got there yet, but yeah, that's where you get this weapon from. So it's fairly early in the game you'll get this. And with this weapon, you can use the Fable to extend the weapon and increase your stamina regeneration, making this a huge pole weapon. So on first glance, this looks like kind of a clunky, slow weapon that doesn't do incredible damage, but don't sleep on it. On top of this, it gets a whole new move, being like the pokey. Honestly, this weapon pretty much does it all. It will take you from mid-game or, early mid-game all the way to end game. You can upgrade this max and defeat the final boss. This is an incredible strength weapon and easily the number 1. Okay, now on to a much less balanced weapon, focused on pure heavy damage, and probably the best for heavy damage. But this is obtained at the very end of the game. And it is I don't know how to say it, the Noblesse Oblige? I don't know. There's a heavy great club that will destroy everything it hits. It's an A scaling motivity weapon. It means it's going to scale amazing if you've got high motivity, which you probably have watching this video, because it's all about pure damage over everything else. This is another boss weapon obtained from one of the last bosses in the game. I won't say who it is, but you'll know. It's a big boss, and it's at the end it's the big boss. You'll know. Yeah. So this is it's the boss soul. You trade it into Alidoro again, and you'll be able to wield this absolute destroyer. Ignore balanced attacking, speed, stamina. You don't need that because you just hit them and then you just heal through the damage. You delete your enemy before they get their attacks in, and you stagger them mid-combo. If they're doing all this fancy stuff and spinning around, you just stagger them with the massive damage you're hitting them with. The average person is going to find this too slow, and it is too slow. But if you can play it properly, it will wreck any open world enemy, and you can even use it properly to cheese some bosses. This is when you want to go all in on strength. A lot of people in Elden Ring, Dark Souls, there's like a quality build, which is kind of a mixture of strength and dex. This is if you just go all into strength. This is you don't care about anything but standing there and smashing stuff. This is the weapon for you. Okay, so that last weapon was at the end of the game, and both of these have been boss weapons. So let's talk about something earlier. An early game strength weapon you can rely on, you can upgrade, and will get you going all the way through. So this is based around the Krat police Baton weapon. So this drops from the police puppet really early in the game. If you go to the waypoint inside house on Elysium Boulevard in chapter 2, you kind of go down from there, you fight a big puppet, and he drops his baton. Don't sleep on this. You can disassemble it, and the handle is really, really good for motivity scaling. So I would say start using that handle to make other good motivity weapons. So a really good one is when you first start the game, you can pick a build, right? And one of those you can pick is the sweeper. I think that's the strength version, and you get the Great Sword of Fate. Just take it apart, put the Great Sword of Fate blade on the Krat Baton handle, and you have an amazing scaling motivity weapon that has a really fast and agile playstyle, and you can upgrade that all the way along. That would be my suggestion. You can then change that later on down the line and put other things that you like on the Krat Baton handle. I used the Great Sword of Fate with the Baton handle all the way up until I got the Holy Sword of the Ark. I changed it a few times later on and tried different things, but yeah, this will get you going for a long time. Okay, next on is the most aesthetic and cool looking strength weapons, the Frozen Feast. This is basically the Holy Sword of the Ark, but faster and cooler, with a little less motivity. This is another boss weapon obtained after beating the Reborn Champion boss in Chapter 7 and trading the soul to Alidoro. The beauty of this weapon is you don't realise how good it is until you use it. On the surface, it just looks like a big old rock sword. But pop its Fable art and you uncover this big blue crystal sword. And it just looks amazing. As soon as you uncover this, you get a big attack speed boost as well, giving you both a cool looking and fast strength weapon, which is rare. It's rare to have a really high scaling motivity weapon that you can just swing around like something fast, like a dex weapon. So that's why this is a really powerful weapon. I want to do a full playthrough with this. I want to like use it on more bosses and fully upgrade it because it's really good. I feel like this might be a bit of a hidden gem because it's got a lot going for it, but even unleveled, it destroys stuff. This can easily do huge heavy damage, a ton of stagger, and with a really fast moveset. I can easily see this weapon taking you all the way to endgame. It's fast, it's strong, it's got good blocking, good motivity scaling, definitely one of the cooler and stronger weapons in the game. If you don't like the Holy Sword of the Ark, you don't know the look of it, you don't know the playstyle, I'd give this one a try as it's most similar. And then that's all the cool ones out of the way. Number 5 is reliable. It's not flashy. It's the bone cutting saw. Looks straight out of Bloodborne. It doesn't have the highest damage. It isn't fast, but it's long. I think this weapon has the best range in the game, like the best reach in the game. It's got so much that you can charge it, swing it, and take out like 3 enemies coming towards you. I've used this just for like pure farming ergo because it's got such good cleave. Like things are running at you, they're raising their swords, they're building up their big moves, and you just unleash it and just take out everything in front of you. It's really powerful. It's just, you get it from a chest in the Malum district, so it's pretty easy to get. It definitely fits the playstyle of someone who just wants a big destroy type weapon, but wants more range and a bit more speed. There's a couple of bosses that I can definitely see you having problems with this weapon on, but overall I think it's really good. There's certain things that I just wouldn't use in the game, but this one I think definitely has its place. It's not as cool and awesome as some of the others. It's not a boss weapon, but it's good. It's just good and reliable. But that's it. They're in my opinion, as a day one strength player, well, early access even strength player, the best weapons I've seen in the game for motivity builds. Obviously I haven't leveled every single one up to max, but all of these weapons have a ton of motivity scaling, work really well with strength builds, and will just destroy your enemies. There's lots of other honorable mentions, the Mjolnir, the Thor's hammer, the giant the giant puppet axe cleaver thing, which looks incredible. They're really good, but for me, when it's just big and slow and it doesn't have like a really cool moveset, I just find myself getting hit too much with it. But yeah, there's a lot of things to work with here if you just want to go all in on strength. But these, for me, are going to take the average player from start to finish and give you everything you need to beat the game. If you've enjoyed this video, consider subscribing for more and liking the video. That helps me out. I'll be working on, best dex weapons shortly, but that's it for this one. Let me know down below what weapons you've had the most success with, or if you've tried any of these and what you thought, and maybe you disagree, let me know. Take care. That's the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.